Hi guys, you're welcome back to the Lily and Nina show. And today it's just Nina here, and I'll be doing a recap of the Bachelorette season 17, Katie Thurston season episode 7. Before we get into this, make sure you're subscribed to our channel, like and share this video. So we're going to start off with the first single date for this episode, which went to Greg. This is the second single date for Greg this season, and it bears a very huge importance as this shows how strong Katie and Greg's connection is. So the date is a replica of Seattle and some of the places and stuff you'll see while in Seattle. So Greg and Katie just strengthen their connection throughout this date, and in the night portion of the date, Greg admits to falling in love with Katie. And so of course, Greg gets the date rose. And now we're off to the group date. Before the group date commences, Brendan goes to see Katie because for the first single date on this episode, Greg got it. The second one will inevitably go to Mike P. And so he's made to go on group date after group date, being the only one that hasn't received any single date so far this season. He goes to her, and unfortunately they end up parting ways. So that makes Brendan the first person for this episode to leave. Now we're off to the group date, and they're supposed to be showing off their artistic side. They all do their thing, but Blake draws something we can't possibly see due to ABC blurring that out. But I suspect that that's his anatomy he drew. Anyway, they all go off to the night date portion, and Michael A receives a group date. So it comes time for the single dates, second single dates actually of the episode, and Mike P and Katie go on this date that is supposed to be about strengthening their physical connection, which involved lots of cuddles. But Mike P kept referencing his mom. And you can tell as a girl, imagine being in a warm embrace with a boy that you're seeing as a potential, and he says you remind him of his mom. I mean, like, no, this is sexy time and you're talking about your mom. Ew. So I didn't know this about our boy, Mike P. So he's a mama's boy, and we don't like mama's boys over here. We love men that love their moms, and that is a difference. Anyway, Katie ends up sending him home. It's a given, actually. There was no physical connection between them. It was definitely sad to see, but it's expected. While that emotional aspect to their relationship was there was absolutely no physical connection. So once again, we say bye-bye to the second person that is leaving for this episode, Mike P. So the rose ceremony comes around, and Katie says she's struggling. But we all know this is what all the other leads say all the time. Oh, we're struggling once it's down to the final four. Like they don't know who their final four is. As a watcher, I really don't think so. I think Katie got her final four down to a T. I just think she was acting like she was struggling. But anyways, okay, Katie, we hear you. Anyway, Blake and Justin get the last two roses, while Andrew S gets sent home. So wait, you mean you kept Justin, Katie, and sent Andrew S home? Like, we never even saw a real strong romantic connection between Katie and Justin. But okay, Katie. Anyway, the next day, Kate seems so distraught and someone knocks on her door. Guess who it is, guys? It's Andrew S. So he says their relationship was a fun one and he wants them to part ways in a fun way instead of parting in tears. So anyway, they talk for a bit, and Andrew says his goodbye and hands Katie a note and asks her to read it when he leaves. As soon as Andrew leaves, Katie reads the note. I bet you guys it was less than 10 seconds. She just jumped on the note. And the note said, if you change your mind, I'll be waiting. So what does Katie do? Our dear Katie runs down the hallway, chases him down the stairs, yells out his name. He turns around with a sincere, surprised look on his face, like he wasn't expecting it, and Katie runs into his arms. So she asks him if he wants to stay a bit longer. To which, of course, he responded no. So I'm really with Andrew S on this. How does Katie expect Andrew S to say yes to her invitation to stay longer on the show? when you've actually made him your fifth choice by default? So, I mean, it truly makes no sense. What do you want the man to wait for him to be sent home again? And I hear people online saying, oh, why did he hand over the note to Katie if he knew he would be saying no if she asks him to stay longer? But guys, I think we're missing something here and we're getting it all wrong. I really do think that he was thinking that if at the end of the show Katie changes her mind and decides to choose him and only him, then will he be waiting. I'll bet you right now that he didn't mean make me stay just for another day or another week, because in any case he's not going to be in her final 3 or even 2. So it's better to save himself from unnecessary heartache for the second time. So anyway, they share a final kiss and part ways for good, I hope. So that brings us to the end of this particular episode, and we can't wait for episode 8 next week. I hope it's going to be a fun fest and not a cringe fest. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recap, and I can't wait to chat with you all in the comments down below. Tell us what you thought about this episode. Who do you think will be sent home next week? Put down your prediction. Let's see. So for previous episodes recap, click the links in the description box, and don't forget to subscribe. Like this video, guys. Till next time, it's just Nina saying out.